In January 2009, a meeting was called at the podium and attended by some people who are discussing a serious concern about church workers, missionaries, and pastors getting into some problems with the police and military in the field as they discharge their functions. In attendance were Pastor Ed Pilapig Sr., General Reynold Osia, Colonel Lina Sarmiento, Mr. Ruel Salonga, Pastor Art Corpus, and Pastor Bong Credo. The group decided that a consultation meeting be held in Bicol for this purpose. Hosted by the Bicol Ministerial Fellowship Committee, on February 17, 2009, a consultation conference was held at GCF Auditorium, Magsaysay Avenue, Naga City, with an estimated 200 pastors and church leaders attending, representing the 4 mainland provinces of the Bicol region. The 9th Infantry Division Philippine Army was represented by Colonel Bernardo and Lieutenant Colonel Gabanzo. The Philippine National Police was well attended by high-ranking officers in the region, headed by Police Chief Superintendent Pat Bangi and the Provincial Directors of Masbate, Sorsogon, Albay, Catanduanes, the Deputy Provincial Director of Camarines Norte, as well as the Chief of Police of Naga City and other officers from PNP Camarines Sur. Police Director Herman Doria of Police Community Relations Group, being the director, was the guest of honor and speaker. It was also attended by General Reynold Osia, Colonel Lina Sarmiento, Mr. Ruel Salonga, Lieutenant Colonel Felix Servita of PCRG, Pastor Ed Pilapil, the Chairman of the Bicol Ministerial Fellowship Committee, Bishop Fred Magbanwa of PCEC, or the Philippine Council of Evangelical Churches, Mr. Mario Liwag of United Churchmen of the United Church of Christ in the Philippines. Honorable Jess M. Robredo, the Mayor of Naga City, also came to grace the occasion. The consultation conference drew interest and support from the church leaders. Initially resolved was the issue of missionaries or pastors arrested in the field, mistaken as subversives, must be coordinated with Bicol Ministerial Fellowship Committee for proper identification and clearance. Continuous dialogue through the Church, Police, Military Liaison Committee, and church leaders as partners in promoting peace in the region. As a result, members of the Church, Police, Military Liaison Group, the Technical Working Group, extended its effort of partnership with the Office of the Presidential Advisor on the peace process headed by Secretary Avelino Razon. It was a welcome gesture for the Bicol Ministerial Fellowship Committee as it ventured with another ministry that has not existed before. Continuous dialogue and consultation was conducted both in Manila and in the Bicol region as the Field Director of OPAP for South Luzon, Mr. Charles Tan, is gaining strong support from the field and the leaders of the Bicol Ministerial Fellowship Committee. Another partnership was forged, such as Bible will be distributed during surrender rites for every recipient of the government's program for the rebel returnees, known as Kasama sa Reforma. Values education and spiritual renewal program will be provided and handled by pastors as part of the healing and reconciliation, being an important part of the social integration program. About 96 KRs took part in this program held at Department of Agriculture Regional Office Training Center in Pili and Camarines Sur State Agricultural College, respectively. On May 27, 2009, about 200 pastors and church leaders gathered at Sisak Auditorium with 120 pastors signing a manifesto declaring Bicol region as a zone of peace and a memorandum of agreement between OPAP and BMFC as partners in promoting peace and progress in the region, specifically in the Spiritual Transformation Program of SIP. That momentous gathering was initiated by OPAP with the theme Forging Partnerships for Peace, with OPAP Undersecretary Honorable Cesar Rambuanga as guest of honor and Attorney Ben Lingating, the SIP Director, as one of the signatories in the declaration and MOA signing. Key evangelical church leaders from Manila were present to witness the signing. Bishop F. Tendero of the Philippine Council of Evangelical Churches, with Bishop Nonon Punsalan, Bishop Ruben Abante of the Bible Baptist Churches of the Philippines, and Pastor Ed Pilapil being the chairman of the Bicol Ministerial Fellowship Committee. Government officials represented by Assistant Secretary Chito Monzon, the Armed Forces of the Philippines officers headed by Major General Roberto Pabustan, the 9th Infantry Division Commander, and the Philippine National Police represented by Police Chief Superintendent Pat Bangi. About 14 KRs were presented and each received a copy of the Holy Bible. Having this idea of partnership and cooperation being propagated in the Bicol region, Pastor Bong Credo, Bicol Ministerial Fellowship Committee Executive Director and Regional Coordinator of Billy Graham Evangelistic Association and Samaritan's Purse International Relief, was assigned to head the relief operation in Region 2, the Cagayan Valley region, after the devastation brought about by Typhoon Tepeng. Applied same idea and it proved effective. Pastors and leaders working hand in hand with the Philippine National Police headed by Chief Superintendent Roberto Damian, the RECOM 2 Commander, and Senior Superintendent Lasso of the Cagayan, was able to effectively deliver relief goods even to the hard-to-reach islands in the north, such as Fuga, Babuyan Claro, and other Calayan group of islands, through the help of the United Nations providing the helicopter to airlift the goods. Bicol is known as one of the poorest regions in the country. Parallel to that, Bicol is also known as the second least evangelized region in the country. Evangelical Christians only account to about 3% to 5% of the total population of 5.7 million. Addressing this need, churches are praying for a divine visitation and revival. Last April 28, 29, 30, and May 1st, 2011, this was answered as about 700 evangelical, Baptist, Pentecostal, and Independent Christ-centered Bible-based churches and denominations band together for the Bicol Celebration of Hope with Will Graham. An estimated crowd of about 98,300 come together at Pili Freedom Stadium, Pili Camarines Sur, to hear international evangelist William Franklin Will Graham, grandson of world-renowned evangelist Reverend Dr. Billy Graham, preach the message of hope in Jesus Christ for the Bicol region. Again, the PNP providing ground security, traffic, safety and security for VIPs, the Bureau of Fire Protection, the Red Cross, Kabalikat Radio Group, the Armed Forces of the Philippines through the 9th ID under the leadership of Major General Jose S. Gaversa Jr., the 9th ID Commander, Brigadier General Marlo Salazar, Assistant Division Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Rod Batang, Infantry, Philippine Army, Assistant CSCMO, G7, and the direct supervision of Lieutenant Colonel Roel O. Raffer, CAV, PA, Deputy G7, played a major role in providing manpower for the arrangement of about 11,000 plastic stools in the venue and augmenting the transportation needed by the people thus making this historic event a success.
Lupain na kay ganda, pinagyan.